Hello. Hello. Just some Monday morning thoughts. Off the cuff. Not quite sure what I'm going to say. Rich is really struggling. I can tell he's had a level of decline even in the last week since I've been here. He's just absolutely drained, and he's fought so hard. He's written email after email. He's contacted journalists, hospitals. I think he's just almost at the point of giving up. But I said I'm not giving up. Not fucking giving up, that's what I said. So I'm still hopeful. And the money keeps coming in, and it's amazing. And we're getting there. He's got a blood test this morning to check his blood levels for his warfarin. So a nurse is going to come. Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. I always said that me leaving was going to be the hardest part, even before I met Rich. And it's still true. I've done what I can just to kind of do some practical stuff for him, chuck some rubbish out, clean the kitchen a bit. I've done everything I possibly can to get a support network around Rich. And it's up to Rich as to whether he accesses that. He's got to consent to that as an adult. And I hope he does. But it's really hard for him to accept support and accept help. For some reason, he accepted mine, and we didn't. We hadn't met. I'm just going to show you this. I haven't shown you this since I've been here. That is Rich's amazing bike. It's like a piece of art. It's beautiful. Rich really wants to be able to ride it again. And I hope he can ride it again. He asked if I wanted to ride it, but I don't want to damage it. It's just too beautiful. So, yeah. I've been thinking a lot about cognitive bias and how we form opinions, how people have made choices to either believe what we've been saying about Richard's need for treatment, or people that have chosen to scroll past and not get on board. And it comes back to a wider issue about chronic illness and how, as people with chronic illness, we're often not believed. Not believed by doctors, not believed by health professionals, often not believed by the people that are closest to us. And why do people come to the conclusions they come to? And how are opinions formed? And how are choices made? So this is probably the last time might be the last time, I might read once more, but the last time from A Little Book of Humanism. And it's about how we make choices. And human beings are not always good at accepting the truth. We fool ourselves into thinking that things are right or true for all sorts of reasons. Maybe because it's fashionable to think something, or because someone has told us, we trust has told us, or because it's something we've believed for a long time. We want to believe it, even if it's not true. There's a name for this sort of impediment to clear thinking: cognitive bias. Cognitive biases work as shortcuts in your thinking that allow you to come to conclusions more quickly. They can be useful rules of thumb, saving you time in making decisions by simplifying your perception of situations. But cognitive biases can also lead you to jump to the wrong conclusion and make bad choices. Two common cognitive biases to recognize and try to avoid. Anchoring bias. We tend to focus far too much on the first thing we learn about a new topic, and then we judge any new information relative to the information we already have in hand. For example, if we go into a shop and see that a loaf of bread costs £3, then go into another shop where a loaf is £2, it seems cheap. But it may be that a loaf costs only £1 in all the other shops on the street. Our opinion has been led by the first thing we saw. Confirmation bias. We tend to look more actively for information that confirms something we already believe, and discount information that counters what we already believe. We also tend to think that evidence which supports our existing views is better quality, even if it isn't. And we're more likely to remember information that agrees with us, and forget information that doesn't. There are many more cognitive biases, hundreds in fact, that psychologists have identified. The more you can learn about and try to avoid them, the clearer your own thinking will be. So it's all about how we come to the truths and the information that we accept, and how we process those things, and how we come to decisions. And when we talk about ME and chronic illness, somehow, over the last 20, 30 years, our condition has been maligned, it's been sidelined, it's been rejected. Thankfully, Decode ME has done amazing work in establishing it as a biological condition now. But these cognitive biases, they run really deep. And I wonder if Rich didn't have ME in Sweden before he got these other conditions, whether he may well have been believed a bit more or accepted a bit more. But for some reason, he's been rejected out of hand, and doctors have chosen not to go down the route that's been recommended by other doctors. So those doctors in Sweden have confirmation bias about what they believe and about what they're willing to do for Rich, when other doctors have looked at his information and come to other conclusions based on what they know, which is better information and better knowledge. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know. But I would say just challenge your own thinking. That's what I've done over the last few years. I've needed to challenge my own thinking, challenge the way that I come to the decisions I make. Like, one theme in my life over the last few years has been the friendships I've made with the LGBTQIA community. And I keep constantly meeting people and making friends with people from that community, and it's wonderful. But I grew up in a homophobic family. I grew up in a homophobic culture, and it took a lot to dismantle my cognitive biases about what I thought about those things and about values and morals and ethics. So I would say just question everything. Question your own perceptions about everything. This issue of Rich and what he's going through is indicative of a wider theme within society, but our own cognitive thinking and how we process information and how we make decisions. So keep challenging yourself, because you'll be a better person. Have a good day.